The PlayStation Store's Black Friday 2018 sale is officially underway, and there are so many great deals available right now. We're going to be covering it with a couple of different videos, but in this video, we'll specifically be taking a look at 10 great deals on games that were released in 2018. So these are very recent games, and they are significantly discounted to varying degrees. Some of the more recent titles that were, say, released in the last month or two are discounted less so. However, given the fact that they were released in the last month or two, getting any kind of discount on them is very nice. There's new low prices for a lot of games, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's start things off with arguably the best PlayStation 4 exclusive of all time, and that is God of War. It is down to just $21.99. This is an awesome price for God of War. I really thought we weren't going to be seeing it less than $24.99 since that's what a lot of the retailers are pricing it at, but it looks like Sony has actually undercut a lot of the retailers, pricing it at $22. God of War is an absolutely tremendous game. I imagine if you've owned your PlayStation 4 for a decent length of time, you've already picked up this game. However, if you have not picked up God of War yet, this is one of the defining experiences on the PlayStation 4, really shows what the PS4 is capable of. Some might go as far to say it's the best PS4 exclusive ever. I wouldn't necessarily agree on that, but I will agree on the fact that it's a tremendous game, and at $22, it's an absolute buy. Next up, let's mention another PlayStation 4 exclusive. Detroit Become Human is down to $21.99. Once again, a great price on this. Detroit Become Human was released back in May. It was the latest game by Quantic Dreams, the guys that also brought you Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Indigo Prophecy, and now we have Detroit Become Human, a futuristic story, and once again following suit with Quantic Dream's other title. It sets out to tell a very engaging story, and you definitely have that in Detroit Become Human. I can understand why some gamers might be scared away of a game like this that's very story reliant, and being at $59.99, maybe that's too hefty of a price, but at $21.99, if you are into story driven games, this is one that you have to pick up, and it's a great game by Quantic Dreams. Would probably say it's their second best title. Next up, we have Dragon Quest XI Day 1 Edition. It's at $41.99, so this is still a steep price for DQ11. Best Buy will actually have it a little bit cheaper if you are okay with getting a physical copy. They'll have it for $29.99. However, if you do want to get a digital copy, $42 for Dragon Quest XI is still very good, given the fact that you're getting so much content out of the game. This is a very lengthy experience spanning 50 to 60 hours. There's a lot to do, and for Japanese RPG fans of olden times, if you like your standard turn-based combat, Dragon Quest XI really nails that, but it also modernizes the mechanics the best it can, and it just offers a great all-around experience with a great cast of characters, great storytelling, with a lot of smaller stories encompassing the overarching narrative. It's a great JRPG, and if you've played Dragon Quest in the past, this is Dragon Quest in its definitive form. And yes, again, $42, a little bit steep of a price point, but given the fact that it just released back in September, I would say that it's well worth it. Next up, we have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is down to $29.99. Now, I talked about Shadow of the Tomb Raider a lot going into the release of the game. I had predicted that it wasn't going to do all too well from a commercial standpoint, and it looks like it didn't do all too well from that standpoint. However, the game itself is really, really good. If you played Tomb Raider 2013 and you played Rise of the Tomb Raider and you enjoyed those games, Shadow of the Tomb Raider just builds upon those experiences. Yes, the storytelling isn't the best at times. However, if we're talking just gameplay and content, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is really, really great in those aspects, and I think those are the most important elements of a Tomb Raider game. Now that it's already down to $30, if you had any interest in the game and maybe you were just waiting on it to go on sale, I doubt Shadow of the Tomb Raider is going to go much cheaper than this, so to pick it up for $30, I would say that's a great buy. Next up, we have Kingdom Come Deliverance for $29.99. Kingdom Come Deliverance was an RPG released earlier this year. It was in development for quite a while by Warhorse Studio, and it's a historical RPG set in the 15th century medieval kingdom of Bohemia. One element that Kingdom Come Deliverance really nails over a lot of other RPGs is the fact that it's so realistic, almost to a fault to some people. However, I can definitely appreciate it. It is more of a hardcore RPG that does require a little bit of patience. Yes, it is a little bit difficult. However, there is a great game to get invested into here with a great story, solid gameplay, and if you were on the fence for a while, $30 is the best price that I've seen Kingdom Come Deliverance at, and I would say it's well worth a buy. Just expect something a little bit more on the challenging side. Next up, we have Far Cry 5 for $26.99. I do believe this is a new low on the PlayStation Store, and for $26.99, Far Cry 5 is a great buy. Yes, it is very similar to Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. What you have here is a great open world action adventure title. The thing with Ubisoft titles is now we know that even with these big blockbuster games that do really well from a commercial standpoint, they just tend to go on sale really quickly. So I've been telling a lot of you guys, just wait on Ubisoft games for a little while and you can find them at great deals, and that's what we see with Far Cry 5. At $26.99, you're getting a lot of content for your money, and if you enjoyed FC4 or FC3, I would say Far Cry 5 is well worth a pickup at this price. Let's move from one Ubisoft game to another. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is 33% off. It is down to $40.19. Now, this is still a little hefty of a price considering that a lot of retailers will be having it for $29.99 or $34.99. However, as I mentioned a lot lot going into the Black Friday sale. Typically, some of the PSN prices are a little bit higher. However, $40 for a game that just released a month ago is still really, really good. Assassin's Creed Odyssey does a great job of building upon the fundamentals that Assassin's Creed Origins set out, but it also does add a lot of new mechanics. You can pick to play as a male or female. There's a bigger emphasis on the naval combat, and the combat in general is more fleshed out. So if you are a fan of Assassin's Creed Origins, Odyssey is going to be right up your alley. Again, $40 a little bit steep. I do believe Best Buy will have it for $30 during Black Friday, so if you want to wait until that might be a good option for you guys. However, if you do want to pick it up on PSN, I would say this is still a great buy. Moving on from that, Maj Hunter World is down 50% to $24.99. This is a great price on Maj Hunter World, which was one of the early contenders for Game of the Year, and it's still up there in contention with the best games of the year. I just think a lot of gamers have forgot about the quality of MH World, the Maj Hunter game that really opened up the franchise to a mainstream audience. Maj Hunter for a very long time was relegated to Nintendo platforms, portable platforms, but now with MH World, the handcuffs really came off from a technical sense with it coming to the PlayStation 4. Now, if you're an avid Maj Hunter fan, it doesn't necessarily have the same level of depth as some of the other Maj Hunter titles. However, it's still a game with a lot of nuances attached to it, and if you've never played Maj Hunter, World is absolutely a great starting point, and now that it's down to $25, it is a great buy, especially from a value sense. This is a game you can sink a lot of hours into. Moving on from that, this was one of the more surprising deals, but I think it is a fantastic deal for you JRPG fans. Valkyria Chronicles 4 is 50% off for $29.99. Was not expecting Valkyria Chronicles 4 to go on sale at all. I don't know how the game is doing from a commercial sense, but what I will tell you is it's an absolutely awesome game. If you played Valkyria Chronicles 1, yes, it's a lot more of the same, but that's not a bad thing at all. Valkyria Chronicles, from a mechanical standpoint, was so well done. Valkyria Chronicles 4 fleshes it out a little bit, adds a new class, but the fundamentals you saw in the first Valkyria Chronicles are still present here, but what you get is a great story. That is the strength of Valkyria Chronicles. The storytelling is remarkable. Character development is so well done, and it is a very lengthy game as well with a lot of optional content. And I can't say enough good things about Valkyria Chronicles 4, especially coming from someone that isn't a big fan of strategy games. I found Valkyria Chronicles 4 very engaging. I was pleased with the game, paying $59.99. Now that it's 50% off for $30, absolutely, if you're a fan of JRPGs, if you enjoyed the first title, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is a game you need to check out. And lastly, I do want to give a mention to Yakuza Kiwami 2, which is enjoying a 30% off discount. It is down to $34.99. I talked a lot about Yakuza Kiwami 2 going into the release, and I did think it was a little bit overpriced at $49.99, given the fact that the first Yakuza Kiwami was priced at $29.99. However, Yakuza 2 is considered by many to be the best game in the franchise, so I'll let it slide a little bit. Yakuza Kiwami 2, what you get here is a great game. I think we knew that going into it because, again, the quality of Yakuza 2 is something that a lot of people have touted. With there being so many Yakuza options on PlayStation 4, I wouldn't say this is the game I would start with. Check out the first Kiwami, check out Yakuza 0, and then give Yakuza Kiwami 2 a look. I'll give Yakuza Kiwami 2 a recommendation for those of you that have already played some of the Yakuza titles, but for those of you guys, I probably don't need to give it a recommendation anyways, since you're probably eager to pick it up regardless. However, Kiwami 2, $35, a really good buy here. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, these are just 10 great games that were all released in 2018. We'll be uploading more videos, taking a look at some of the other options, cheaper titles. I see a lot of great deals available already, so be on the lookout for those videos. And as always, thank you for watching, and goodbye.